Lovely. Hello and welcome to episode 66 of the Paropod.
Cursed.
Episode 666. We've already jumped the gun, but here we are. Might call this episode 66.6. The cursed episode.
The Halloween episode. Even though this would be Christmas, this is December.
Yeah, December, and we're getting cozy once again.
Once again. Yes, absolutely. It's the only way to be.
Back with the ultimate cozy vibes.
Oh, yeah.
How you been this week?
Been alright. Alright. You know, same old stuff. Again. I was watching Tiger King. Tiger King 2 came out.
Tiger King 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch the first one?
Yes, I did. I think everyone on Earth did when it came out.
Yeah, say what you want about the series, about the people involved, about the quality of the thing, or about Netflix in general. But I think that was a great shared experience that everyone had at the start of 2020.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was just this, like, with nothing going on, there was just this crazy world that you could just watch for.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It was very entertaining. It's the first, like, one of those miniseries that I actually watched. I tried to watch multiple afterwards.
Yeah.
They're not good. Yeah, most of them aren't good. Like, Tiger King is actually good at what it tries to do.
Yeah, I think me and Isabel, that was the first. I think that we watched that together through a Netflix party.
Oh, right,
like,
yeah.
We watched that together, like,
Netflix party, yeah.
Each episode was like, that was just fucking wild.
Yeah, it's like, it just kept escalating, you know? It's insane. Like, the fact that he got convicted, like, a month before it was released. Like, the creators must have been like, ka-ching, you know?
Fucking cash money.
Yeah, it was perfectly set up. But, like, they released a second one now.
Who cares?
Yeah, well, I don't know, like, everyone's still kind of watching it. Like, it's pretty popular. I think it's the most popular thing on Netflix at the moment.
Yeah, now that Squid Game is out of the cultural zeitgeist, Tiger King can come back.
That completely passed me by. Like, I didn't see Squid Game at all.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
I'm not even sure what it's about.
I just know that it's a game of death, and I've seen stuff like that before.
Yeah, it's like a battle royale kind of thing.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, but yeah, I never saw that. So Tiger King came up, and I was like, I like the first one. So I watched the second one. And the second one is just basically hanging on to the coattails of the first. But, like,
as expected.
In a good way, you know. But the problem is the main guy, it doesn't follow, obviously, because Joe Exotic is in prison for 22 years. So it follows some other guy who's also, like, a tiger person who owns, like, a zoo or whatever. I think he was involved. He took over ownership or part ownership of Joe Exotic's old zoo and then got kicked out or something like that. But basically, this guy is just a bad person. Like, there's nothing interesting about him. He's just like a psychopath.
Yeah, he's just a scumbag.
Yeah, he's just a complete scumbag.
Which Joe Exotic was, but he's also a gas cunt at the same time.
He's also gas and charismatic, you know, and, like, you know, he had a backstory. This guy has no backstory. He's just a weirdo, you know?
Yeah, I think the best moment of Tiger King was, I can't remember, I think he was the lawyer or something. And when they introduced the lawyer, he just comes in on a fucking jet ski flying by and it's like, this is peak Tiger King.
Yeah.
That's in the first one. I don't know, I haven't seen anything of the second one.
Yeah, the second one starts out sort of as a continuation of the first one, where it's still, like, rehashing the whole, like, Carol Baskin thing, like, oh, did she kill her husband?
Yeah.
Well,
I think he's alive.
Yeah, that's because they address that in the show. They're like, because they go back, you know, the way in the first one they had, like, they were doing interviews with, like, his daughters and, like, his secretary, and they're all like, she killed him, like, he's like, I can't believe that he got away with this. And then they're like, here, the FBI, they did, like, a freedom of information request, and the FBI have a document stating that he's alive somewhere in Costa Rica, and they showed it to the secretary, and she was like, what? This can't be true. But he probably is just chilling down there.
That poor woman literally didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, she's a fucking weirdo, to be fair.
She's peak. She's like a Karen.
Yeah, she's a pure Karen. Like, it's hard to feel bad for her because she just doesn't seem like she just seems like a creep. But
also questionable as well in how they treat their animals as well.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with private zoos. You know, should you have private zoos? I don't know.
Probably not.
Nationalize the zoos. Yeah. That's what I say.
Send them back to their own.
Yeah, send them back to those refugee tigers. But they rehashed that for the first few episodes, and then they kind of move on. But they had, like, one episode where they stuck around with the kind of free Joe Exotic movement. Like, remember Trump, like, considered, or he mentioned it in, like, one of the White House press conferences. Like, that just sums it all up. That was an amazing period of time. Like, that, like, theater of the absurd. Like,
I think it was. I think the story of Tiger King came out at a perfect time because it was like this moment in time where it's like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, exactly.
Like, we're living in a pandemic. You got Trump, who's just a clown that's in office. All that type of stuff. You know what? I was watching Nick Spears had a video on Halloween Kills. I actually didn't realize that whole stuff about like evil dies tonight, whatever. It was more so a Trump metaphor, because when it was meant to be released, it was meant to be released in 2019. That film actually wasn't cut and changed. They literally just shelved it. It just so happened that it had alludes or like kind of seemed like COVID. They didn't actually reshoot it or anything like that. That film, it just happened to be worse that it had like vague alludes to COVID, but that was just by accident.
It still wouldn't have worked because it's just not a good movie.
It's still a shit film.
yeah. It was just maybe not as on the nose as they intended.
But just that period of time when like Tiger came out was just what a wild time.
It was great, like because in the documentary they show how like Joe Exotic's lawyer and all his supporters, the supporters of people have never met him, but just kind of like tagged onto him after the release of the first series. And they're having sit down dinners with Don Jr. and all, like, they're supposed to, and then like, COVID got in the way. But like they were properly lobbying Donald Trump. Yeah. And like they had people on the inside who were like kind of like sympathetic to their cause.
I don't understand how you could watch Tiger King and be like, that guy deserves to be released.
Man, it's all right. Like 20 to be fair,
compared to the other people as well. Like,
exactly. Like everyone in that show should be in prison. Like all of them. Like, some really bad people. But they actually did go back and they looked at his case and they're like, it's actually way too harsh. Like 22 years is a bit harsh, but that's just American sentencing maybe. But they said I think they're going to reduce it to 17 years. So they acknowledged that it was a bit of a bit harsh on the guy. Like I think he has cancer as well now.
I think he does.
Yeah, he has like prostate cancer.
Not doing good, our old
Joe.
Not
doing too good, yeah. He's had a rough few years.
He said but at least he's massively famous. He just can't enjoy his fame.
Yeah, that's the best part. In the first episode, they're talking about how do you feel like, oh, you're famous. Like everyone knows your name. Like you're world famous. He's like, I wish I could see that I was famous. He hasn't even seen the documentary. He hasn't seen anything. He just gets all this fan mail in. He's just like, he just knows that he's famous, but doesn't know why or like how,
You know that the first thing he's going to do when he comes out is watch that.
If he makes it. Yeah.
Wild.
But that was so funny when he said that. He's like, I wish I could see that I was like, there's so much bitterness in his voice.
I'm pretty sure that's like one of the things that the first documentary ended on was like, Joe Exotic is... No, because he wouldn't even been world... I think there was just a catch up with them or something like a month or two afterwards. I remember seeing a clip of him. He's like, yeah, I just can't enjoy my fame. Yeah. I think they released another episode or something afterwards, didn't they?
Yeah, they might have. Because he was already kind of famous. He was on Louis Theroux and all.
Yeah.
But, like, Tiger King was obviously his... It was like his face was plastered all over the promo material and stuff. So, like, he himself is very personally famous. But, yeah, he's still been in prison for the past, like, 3 years. So.
He deserves to be in jail. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Tell you who else deserves to be in jail.
Who?
Disney. For what they did to the Simpsons.
Everyone involved with that should be brought up in The Hague.
Oh, God.
The Simpsons in the Plusiversary, is it?
Yes.
In the Plusiversary. First of all, the title. Let's talk about the title. Who came up with this? Who brainstormed this?
Some like elite boardroom, like the top company in the world. And they're like Plusiversary.
Plusiversary. Like this is Disney. This was definitely focus group to death. It went through like several different stages. What should we call this? The Plusiversary. What? The Plusiversary. Celebrating the anniversary of Disney Plus. Who is celebrating that?
Who gives a shit?
Who cares? Like, did Netflix have Netflix started on this day in 2004 or whatever? No,
who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's small time stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that they brought The Simpsons into it is just unforgivable.
It's also a 2-year anniversary. It's not even a year anniversary, it's a 2-year anniversary. It's just like, they did an anniversary because it came out even further. We're actually a bit late coming to this, but I think the topic of the death of The Simpsons is always relevant.
Yeah.
Because this is, like, Disney Plus have released, like, a few specials with The Simpsons. They had one that was, like, a Marvel one. That was absolute dog shit as well. That was so bad. This is even worse. Is even worse.
Because it's just random characters in Moe's.
It's like, look at all the properties we own.
Yeah, look at everything we own. Like everything.
We own you.
Yeah, they pretty much say that to the screen, like, you know, we own you. We own everything you like. Well, aren't we so good?
Mm-hmm.
What have you done? You just own them, you know? You don't actually... like.
You've ruined all of them, basically.
You've ruined them all. Yeah, like, every character that they show in Moe's, none of them have been in anything good in decades.
No.
None of them.
Especially
well, like
The Simpsons.
yeah, especially Simpsons. Well, they had like Loki and stuff, I think. Loki was sitting down with Barney, I think.
Yeah.
What's that? Like, imagine 10 years ago, someone shows you this, you know? You're just like, what is this? What has the world become? You know?
What happened?
What happened? Yeah, where did we go wrong? That's Disney, though.
That is Disney, and the song, it's like, Lisa sings the song, and it's like, just pure pro-corporate.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what Lisa is.
That's not even her character, yeah. That's like the opposite of her character.
She has quite literally done a 180.
Yeah, they just turned her inside out.
There's like, I feel like Lisa would have been, when we were younger, like the first like taste of like feminism. First like glimpse into what like feminism is, kind of like.
That was a character, yeah.
Like that's what she was. She was the plucky feminist youth. Jesus, how they have bastardized her.
Yeah, that's the modern sellout, you know?
Yeah.
That's so sad. But those were always the worst parts of Simpsons as well, when Lisa would start singing. Or any time past season 10 when they broke into song. But sometimes they just do it out of nowhere. And it'd be like a 30... It wouldn't even be 30 seconds. It'd be a 10-second song.
Yeah.
Half thrown together. Stops in the middle of the melody or whatever. Unwatchable stuff. And Lisa as well, her songs. I hate everything. Every time she does that. But then in this, it's like it's brought to an entirely different level. It like transcends.
Turned up to 11.
Yeah, it transcends to something entirely different because she's self-aware, or the writing is self-aware that I'm selling out. But
it doesn't make it any better.
That doesn't make it any better because you're not commenting. Like, you're the one who sold out.
Yeah,
you're not commenting on yourself.
This is quite literally an ad.
Yeah, this is an ad for Disney Plus, and they're like, oh, corporate greed and all.
And then they slap you in the face with a fucking pay or like a pay increase as well. It's gone up in price as well.
Definitely will.
I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's because it was like $7.99. Now it's $9.99. I'm pretty sure a month.
$9.
I think it is.
It was not €5.
I think when it first came out, and then they bumped it up. I think it was £6, and then now it's £8. It was £8, and now I think it's gone up to £10.
I'm cancelling if it's €10. It's not
worth
it.
Man, it's just so bad.
Yeah, that's just unforgivable stuff.
It's so sad. And like because of like after watching this short, I was like, I need to go back and watch the old Simpsons. Jesus, old Simpsons is so different. Like even in terms of like conveying emotion. I watched the episode. I think it was like Lisa and the Fourth Commandment or the Third Commandment. It's the one where like Homer gets like pirate cable, and it's all about like stealing cable. I was like, you're stealing is wrong, and it's just like, who gives a shit? Like I was watching this, I was like, who gives a shit? It's big corporations. Like,
yeah,
especially
is that Lisa saying that?
It is, but like the end of the note is like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be stealing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't work as much now because I'm watching this on Disney Plus after watching a Plusiversary, and it's like this message of no pirating. From like no pirating TV or like from anyone doesn't hold up when I'm watching it on Disney Plus. That message does not stand. I actually left a kind of a bad taste.
It does, a lot of it does.
But even like when Homer is feeling guilt now over like stealing TV or whatever, like the room warps around him and it turns, or Lisa even like she's feeling bad and it turns into hell. Like, do they do that type of stuff in The Simpsons anymore? I don't watch any modern Simpsons, so I have no idea. I don't
think they do. I think it's like flash animation.
Yeah.
It's like bit strips. You know that?
No.
The snap emojis that you have.
Yeah.
Like there's like that's like a separate app. Like it used to be big back in the day.
Yeah, Bitmoji.
Yeah, Bitmojis.
Yeah.
That's a separate app where you can like do comic strips. It's basically just comic strips where you put the characters in like on a background, a flat background, 2D background. And then you mix them around. From what little I've seen of the modern Simpsons, that's all it is. It's just like the characters and then a flat background. The camera or the scene. There's no mise en scene or whatever you'd say. There's no like manipulation of the environment. It's just this is the characters saying their bit, and the jokes are just they're just audio.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like
no visual gags.
Yeah, there's no the visual gags. Yeah, they're all gone. Like,
oh, it's so sad.
Because there's so much. It used to be so much different. Even the way that they sometimes say that episode where Principal Skinner turns out to be a fraud. Like that's like the
Principal and the Pauper.
Yeah, Principal and the Pauper. That's supposed to be the turning point.
Yeah, that is the episode that people mark as the death of the Simpsons.
Yeah, but that's so harsh because like people appreciate a lot after that.
Yeah.
Like for a few seasons after that, it's still very much watchable.
Mhm.
Because like that's in season 9. Season 9 is very very watchable, and the episode before that is Last Exit to Springfield, where Homer goes to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing episode.
Yeah.
Like literally straight off the bat, like they're in Moe's, and like Moe pulls up like a cease and desist or like a subpoena from like the government. He's like, the feds are onto me, and you 3 guys are responsible for 90% of all traffic accidents in Springfield. It's like that's like the first joke. It's just like I remember watching this. It's like that's classic.
Yeah.
It's just great, and that's the episode before like the Great Fall.
Mhm.
So obviously it was a lot more gradual than that. But now it's just a dead horse. A dead horse.
I don't think I've ever watched any. I haven't seen any modern Simpsons. I'm kind of interested to just like pull up like a worst episodes of Simpsons and really see how bad Simpsons got to.
The worst I've ever seen was the Lady Gaga episode. Ever watched that?
Apparently, that is the worst episode of The Simpsons. I've never seen that.
That's unwatchable. That is like Lisa at her very, very, very worst. She's like girl power, but the only way for a girl to, empower herself is to listen to Lady Gaga, who is in the episode, as herself.
Yeah, and it's like completely against like what Lisa's values, were.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, self-reliance. Or
I think Lisa's the worst one of it though.
Oh, they're all terrible.
Like they're all bad, but like the ones like the change of Lisa from like what she was to what she is now is the thing that pisses off fans the most, because like she has become what she hated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you stick around long enough, you become the villain.
She became the villain. She's the villain of the series. Yeah,
Die a hero.
And then and then Homer's so much more mean spirited.
He's just a dickhead.
He's just a wanker. Yeah, he used to be so lovable. But
poor Simpsons. R.I.P.
Always relevant. Always
R.I.P.
relevant.
They are always relevant because
it's a tragedy. It's a modern tragedy.
It is, and it will keep going. It will never end. Now because of Disney Plus, that show will never end.
That's the problem. Like, the next generation, they'll be like, The Simpsons? You think that was good?
Yeah.
I'll be like, you've no idea. You've no idea.
Listen, TikToker.
Yeah,
the TikTok generation. It was good. It's like
they're probably already saying that.
Like, like holding up this little 7-year-old. Like, it was good.
You don't know what they've taken from you.
Oh no, it's so sad. God, Disney Plus is the worst.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm unsubscribing.
It's such a weird platform. Like, you have such a weird variety of things that are on it. Like, they have the remake of The Hills of Eyes.
Yeah.
Which is apparently like one of the grossest films ever made. It's got a really explicit like rape scene in it and stuff like that. It's like, that's just like, I can be scrolling through Disney Plus and like, that's beside like Pocahontas or something.
Yeah, or Baby Shark or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, this is a weird site.
Yeah, it's just sickening.
Yeah.
Sickening stuff.
It's bad stuff. Bad stuff.
Yeah, bad juju.
Oh, God. Continuing on with the bad Disney stuff.
Oh.
I watched Cars 2 today for no reason. Don't know why I did this, but I did. I watched Cars 2.
This is the second Pixar sequel. This is actually the Pixar golden age when this came out, wasn't it?
And I think as well, this is much like The Principal and the Pauper. Cars 2 can be seen as a turning point for Pixar.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's,
it's 2008, is it? 2009?
Sure, I have no idea when this
I think
came
it
out.
is, because I remember Toy Story 3 was 2010, and that was the third sequel they'd ever done. Because the original policy was to never do sequels.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, listen, buddy.
They're like,
that Toy Story made a lot of made a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like Cars. Kids love Cars. Let's make more of them.
Just make I'd imagine that Cars probably did do financially really, especially
it did the best. It made over $1 billion in just in merch, because it was the lowest grossing cinematically in theaters out of anything they'd done. I'm pretty sure.
But boys love Cars.
Yeah, everyone loves Cars. I never liked Cars.
Cars, even when I was a kid, I was like, Cars is shit.
Yeah.
Cars is not good.
It's so obvious that it's not good. I didn't understand why people liked it. But that was the first bad film they'd ever made.
Yeah.
So it was just good faith. Sustain their brand, But what's Cars 2 like? How does it compare to Cars 1?
Okay, so I'm going to compare this to Shrek 2.
Oh, okay.
Because Shrek 2, in a similar vein to Cars 2, and like all good sequels, it expands the universe out. and like Cars 2 is a globe-trotting spy movie, which is a very strange thing from what Cars was.
Yeah.
Which is just about racing, more or less. Cars 2 is a globe-trotting spy movie starring Mater. Mater is the lead in this film.
Where's Lightning McQueen?
He's off racing for the majority of this film.
He's just gone racing.
Yeah, he just races, which is the B plot, and the A plot, which is the spy espionage shit, is led by Mater. Why on earth would you make Mater your lead character? Like, Mater is so fucking annoying. He's so annoying.
Kids loved him.
He's such a fucking idiot. Like, I was there watching the film, right, and I was like, if Cars was to be released now, and if it was done by a different company, because there's no way that Disney would make a joke like this, but if it was made by a different company, there would be a joke where Mater voted for like Donald Trump or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I was watching
Donald Trump.
I was like, I was watching this like, I can't believe I thought of this. Like, I should be paid billions for making that fun.
That's the next plot for the new movie, like Cars 4 or whatever.
It's just fucking.
It's like the Capitol Hill storming. It's just Mater. It's like just like driving ISIS style.
Oh no, Mater is so fucking annoying, and he's just a buffoon. He's just a doofus. He's just an idiot, and like, he's an asshole. Like, I'm gonna say it, Mater's an asshole. Like, he's brought along with Lightning McQueen, and Mater just decides to keep acting the way that he is. He's in yellow face at one stage of this film. He dresses up. They're in Japan, and he like dresses up as like
all the cars are yellow in Japan.
They're not yellow, but like, he dresses up as a, what is the name? A geisha.
Yeah.
He kind of dresses up as a geisha, and it's like, right. the way that the Cars films depicts Japanese culture is they did in the first one as well.
Does the cars have like weird eyes and stuff?
Not that I can remember, but like, they have little voices.
That's all I can picture in my head.
They have like voices where there's like nani and stuff like that, like whatever.
Oh god.
And it's like, but like in the first film, Lightning McQueen has two groupies that follows him around, and they like flash their lights at him because they're flashing him. That's the joke.
Oh,
they're flashing him. But
see,
like,
comedy for adults.
It's
kind of like Shrek 2.
Exactly, much like Shrek 2, like exact same. But like the way that, I don't know, it's just like, it's just like, haha, look how quirky and weird Japanese culture is. Like, that's like basically.
Look how they're just not like us at all.
Look how weird they are. They're so into their technology.
They're like bidets for cars.
There is a bidet for cars.
Is it?
Yeah. Mater goes to the toilet and he gets a fucking hose in his undercarriage, and he's like, "Oh, this feels weird."
Fucking hell.
But the main thing that I wanted, because they expand the world of Cars 2, but by doing so, open up a whole can of worms doing so, because like in the first film, the only locations off the top of my head is literally like racetracks and then Radio Springs, wherever the fuck they're from.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Radio Springs? What's it
Whatever
called?
It is, yeah. Radiator Springs.
Radiator Springs, yeah. Radiator Springs and like racetracks. So like, there's no cities, but they go to cities in Cars 2. And like, there's a bit when they're in London, and the houses are to scale as they would be to cars in real life. But how are cars getting into the front doors and stuff like that? Like, there's like, they're literally just houses, and it's like, there's a front door, but like, how did the cars get in? Who built these houses? Why were these houses built?
Who put these, like, Lovecraftian?
Yes.
Like, who built these?
Like monoliths of like of a bygone era or something like that.
Like at the Mountains of Madness, but it's cars, it's Mater. Don't look.
Oh no! And like, just like, lots of stuff like that. There's a pope in the film, which implies that there's, like, this has been talked about before, like on like online, but like, there's a pope. Therefore, religion is a thing.
Who do they worship?
Who do they worship? Is there a car god? Was there like, is terrorism a thing in this film?
Yeah, doesn't that imply the existence of a car ISIS?
Yeah,
just trucks going around like blowing each other up and stuff,
like, and even
cutting each other's engines off.
There's a bit where like Mater has like a bomb strapped to him, and like, he's in London or whatever, and there's like, he goes up to the Queen car, which implies that empires
He's in the Ra.
and imperialism thing.
Yeah.
And the secret forces, special forces come out like, get down, there's a bomb. And they don't say he's a bomber or whatever, but like, you're just like, so like, someone being strapped with a bomb is a threat in this film, like in this world.
Car bombs, yeah.
Car bombs. It's like the world, like just by expanding out the world, makes it a very confusing place.
Yeah. That like a car troubles, a car Native American genocide.
Man, there's like one of the cars in the film is a World War II Jeep.
So he's a war criminal.
So he's a war criminal. Like, were there car concentration camps? Like did World War Car
it's just junkyards.
World Car 2 happened and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck? So many, and like I'm watching the film. It's like, yeah, he's just like driving throughout like cities, whatever. But once you take a step back and like, why are these cities here? It just makes it really confusing.
Yeah. Why do you need a city if you're a car?
What? Because he's driving in Italy. He goes to like Japan, Italy, and London, and he's like, there's like these big massive boats that are like sentient as well. I was like, who made these? Like, how are these cars? What is going on in the world of cars?
Sentient boats. Maybe it's like Transformers, where there's just like planet cars,
Maybe, but like
automobiles are intelligent, silicon-based intelligence. They're aliens. They're living on a parallel Earth.
See, like you ever hear that Pixar theory that like, you ever hear that thing where like they're all in the same universe and they all tell of this era where like technology overcame humans?
Oh right.
Did you ever hear that theory? It's like this theory. It's a long theory. I'm not actually going into it. But I was watching this film. I was like, I actually 100% believe that this theory is true, because these houses are built for humans, but this is a world of cars.
Yeah, it's like a Planet of the Apes scenario.
Yo,
they blew it all up.
It's literally the end of like the remake, the reboot, the Tim Burton one. It's like was there car slavery? Was there a car Abraham Lincoln? Like what?
Car slavery.
Like just
your car.
The questions that the film comes out like makes you think about.
They should explore that though, because that's a really cool line of inquiry. Like that's like everyone's independently thought that. So why don't they make a film about it? Like, what is it?
They're afraid to reveal the truth.
Yeah.
The dark secrets of the car world.
Make like a gritty, dark Cars film. Just goes into the dark past, or maybe the future.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to watch this.
Man, it's so bad. And even like,
how long is it? 90 minutes.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like an hour and 40. That an hour and 40 is too long for this film. It should be 90 minutes, but it is an hour and 40. There's like
just leave 10 minutes for the end.
I've actually had enough of this shit.
I don't need to see the end of this.
I know how this thing plays out.
Yeah.
And like there's this whole thing about like renewable energy versus like fossil fuels.
Oh yeah, that's actually cool. They should make one about that.
Yeah, well, this is what the film is.
Oh,
like,
is it?
Okay. But the villain is a guy that's making renewable energy, but he actually has discovered all this the largest oil deposit on Earth. So he's made renewable energy, and he's sabotaging that renewable energy so people go back to using fossil fuels, and also wipe out the idea of like people actually using alternative resources. And it's like, that's an interesting take.
Yeah, decent.
What if Elon Musk has a lot of money in like oil companies and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's pretty.
And he's just having Teslas just crash on purpose.
yeah, purposely built to fail. Because that's a big thing, planned obsolescence.
Sure, that's literally how iPhones work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and light bulbs. Ever see the first, it wasn't the first light bulb. It was one of the first ever made back when it was just a new thing. Something I think it was 1905 or 1910, around then. It's still going. It was built back then. It wasn't built to fail. Every light bulb these days is built to expire after a certain time, but they don't have to be built that way. They can be built to last for like however long they want, much longer than usual.
Man, I'm pretty sure that's a thing in Gravity's Rainbow.
Is it? Yeah.
It's a bit where like they follow a light bulb, and it's about like this circuit's a light bulb and that they're built to fail and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think there's a thing in that book as well. That's so weird.
It's the light bulb lobby. They control light in the world. It's fucking insane.
The world is so weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, why do you not just make lights more durable?
Yeah, why don't you just have lights that just never go out? Morrissey job.
Yeah.
Be great. We could all be under a double-decker bus.
Oh, please, Marcy, take me away.
I actually saw Planes recently in work.
Oh, right.
Someone uploaded the full movie of Planes, so I had to watch it.
Of course he did. How would it go?
I just skipped through it, like it's so kind of like triple speed, and it's I don't know. It's not a Pixar film.
Yeah.
It's a Disney film.
Yeah.
And it's just a kids film.
The Cars property is huge. Like I was on
like
Larry the Cable Guy. I went onto his like Letterboxd page.
Oh, he's made her, isn't he?
Yeah, he has made her. Man, like the first like 15 things on his Letterboxd are all Cars related. Like there's 15 things related to Cars, like shorts or whatever. But like still.
Yeah. Who is he?
I have no idea.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Is he?
He must have done something beforehand. Like
he's a comedian. I think he's just a comedian. And his joke is that he's a redneck cable guy.
Oh, okay.
And
I know
it's funny because he's working class.
Yeah, now he's making a mint.
Now he's sold out.
Yeah, now he's set for generations.
He's sold out to big corp.
Big days.
They make a little joke in actually the end of the film where like one of the sergeant guy is actually I'm not going into the full, like there's an oil that like is being used, the renewable oil, whatever. But like one of the characters is like he actually has been using the oil. He said he's been using the oil for the cars because that's what they have to use this oil while they're racing. And Lightning McQueen actually hasn't, unbeknownst to him, hasn't actually been using that oil because his oil guy is like, once big oil, always big oil. I never trust big oil. I was like, that's a weird take in this film, but like again,
never trust big oil.
Never trust big oil
in a Cars film.
Yeah, never trust.
Subversive.
Never trust big pharma is basically in this film.
Yeah.
Oh, weird film. Not
Unexpected.
good.
Unexpected.
Not good. So it's also so not funny as well. Mater's so fucking bad.
Yeah, that was the problem I think of the first one. I just never found it funny. It's just not funny. Because the guy who did it, John Lasseter, he's cancelled now. But
why?
He was harassing people in Pixar or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember that.
He's a bit of a perv apparently. Yeah. But yeah, it was his baby. Cars was his baby because he's a big Cars guy. So I think it was just enough to have it be about Cars rather than have it be actually a good film. So I think that's maybe where it fell. Why
are people into Cars?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't get it.
To
be fair, we don't drive, so
yeah. But also, who gives a shit? It's something that gets you from point A to point B.
Yeah, you don't see people into bikes really.
People are into bikes.
Are they? But the same way you'd be into cars?
No, not the same. I think
there's like imagine a film called Bikes.
I think it's because like Cars
have that masculine energy.
Cars can also blow up at a moment's notice.
Yeah, there's like a feeling of there's like a threat. There's a constant threat.
Like, and they can kill you. Like no one's dying because people do die because of bikes, but like not for the same reasons that cars.
Cars are scary.
Yeah,
man. That's the worst thing about driving. When like you're at like 60 and you realize there's someone right beside you and they're going like 70 or whatever. It's like I could die at any moment.
I could just turn my wheel and just crash into them and kill the two of us.
Yeah. Like that's just terrifying.
Mad. Wild stuff.
Yeah, they should explore that in the next one.
Yeah, that's what. Did you ever see the poster to the third Cars film?
No.
It's just like I genuinely think that the third film is about death. I don't know if that is what it is.
Doesn't he die in the third one?
I feel like he does. I think that's what it's about because like the poster is like Lightning McQueen having this horrific crash and he's like flying through the air.
Yeah.
It's like it ends tonight, whatever.
DUI. It ends tonight. Cars ends. Evil dies tonight.
I probably will watch the third Cars film just because I've seen this one.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like you should. Just for continuity. Yeah, for the clout, yeah. Letterboxd clout.
I watched all the Cars movies. I've only seen the first Godfather film, but I've seen all three of the Cars movies.
Yeah, Cars 3 is better than Godfather 1.
Cars 3 is better than Godfather Part 3. That might not even that
could be true.
That might not even be that hot of a take.
Yeah, because people hate that one.
People hate that film.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you watch this week?
I watched something kind of different. I watched a Japanese horror film from 1958.
Very similar.
It's called Black Cat Mansion. And it's this mad Japanese film. I was looking for a Japanese horror film to watch. And I found out a weird thing about Japanese horror films like around this era. They're all about black cats.
When is this from?
1958.
1958. Oh yeah.
They're all about black cats. There's a movie list I have here. and 8 of the top 10 are about ghost cats. 8 of the top 10. The ghost cat of Arima Palace.
Weird. I
The
wonder
ghost
what that's
cat
about.
of Nabashimi. The ghost cat and the mysterious shamisen. Goes on for ages.
Is it just like folktales or something?
It's based on it's like a folklore kind of thing. The cat in this is a bakinoke. I think I definitely pronounced that wrong.
Yeah.
But like I think there's another one called a yokai or
Yokai. Yeah, yokai.
And they're cats that sort of absorb bad vibes. And they haunt people. So they're because there's a thing, because the cat in this film has a short tail. Apparently most cats, pretty much every cat in Japan has a short tail. The reason for this is yokai are according to legend, yokai have long tails. So by natural selection and sort of persecution of long-tailed cats, they bred out long-tailed cats.
Yeah.
So now pretty much every cat in Japan has a short tail, like a little nub kind of thing.
That's so weird.
Yeah, very strange, because it used to be that the long-tailed cats could bewitch you.
With their long tail.
With their long tail. And there was also a legend where after, I think it was 7 or 8 years, that cat will, like a long-tailed cat will sort of like evolve like a Pokemon. And the tail will split into 2 and it'll become a witch. So people used to kill their cats after a certain, like people would decide before they took a cat in, I'm only going to keep this for 7 years. And at the end they just killed the cat or whatever. So very, very weird. But like, I didn't know cats were such a huge thing in Japan.
I did not know that
But they
either.
are.
That's mad. Did not realize that.
Yokai, bakinoke, all the boys. But yeah, the cat in this.
Digimon.
Like, that's pretty where Pokemon comes from and all, you know? Digimon, yeah. But yeah, and this is set in... it's like a horror film. But it's pretty much... It's very strange. It's like a frame story. Like, the frame story is like this woman and her brother. And this woman... They're going off to some, like, fucking, you know, old manor out in the countryside. I think, like, it was left to them by their, you know, relative or something. And you have to stay a night to, like, it's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
And she's all sick for some reason. She has, like, TB, I think, which is really weird. It's like 1958. She has tuberculosis. And they get to the gaff and they're walking around. Everything is all, like, dilapidated. Everything's fucked. And they walk past one of the halls. And there's a woman like hunched over, like in the corner. It's done pretty well. Like,
it's creepy.
It is pretty creepy because they just kind of they walk past and then they're like, wait, what was that? And they go back and she's gone. Like, it doesn't like sort of lean into it. Like, there's just this weird like woman with like white shaggy hair, like sort of hunched over in the corner of one of the rooms in this dilapidated house. And they're like, oh, who was that? Like, there's this
who the fuck is that?
and she's a ghost. She's haunting the house.
She's spooky.
And then that's like the first 10 minutes of the film. The rest of the film is pretty much just is set in the 1600s in Japan during the shogunate era, I think.
Yeah, the shogun. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in feudal Japan, where everyone was when the samurais kind of controlled society.
Yeah.
And it's about a samurai who is like dishonored by a shogun. Because they're playing bridge, and the shogun starts cheating. He's a real bastard, and he starts cheating, and the samurai like rebukes him, starts insulting him, and they have like a big scrap, and he ends up killing the samurai, and this kind of leads to an escalation of tensions where the people, like the wife of the samurai and like even the shogun's family around them, sort of realize they have like this intuition that something has happened. Especially the wife. And the wife is completely, you know, devastated, and she's like mourning. She's in mourning. She tries to kill the shogun, but she fails, and so she decides to kill herself, as classic Japanese style, you know.
From Harakiri.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And but before she does, she has a cat. She goes to the cat. She talks to the cat. She's like, you have to lap up my blood and absorb my hatred, and take vengeance on my behalf. So she kills herself, and the cat starts licking up her blood.
Good cat.
Good boy.
More obedient than any other cat in history has ever been.
Yeah. It's like, even if the cat can understand what you're saying, you're probably just like, nah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Get fucked.
So the cat is obviously an evil, haunted cat. Or it's a ghost cat, pretty much. And the spirits of the wronged samurai and like the sort of the grieving widow are kind of channeled through this demon, this kind of demonic cat lady woman who begins to manifest within the house. And this is all set in the dilapidated house.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like back in the Shogun era, it was like a big manor, and it's like that was his HQ or whatever. And he's hidden the samurai on the walls. It's kind of like a Telltale Heart kind of scenario, where every now and then when he feels guilty, the walls start to bleed.
Spooky.
And spooky, yeah. And all the while you have this cat lady running around, and like she's the woman from the first 10 minutes. She's shaggy, or she doesn't have shaggy hair. She's white hair, and she looks a bit weird, and she's always like hunched over. But the thing is, she turns into a cat when she gets angry. So she has like ears and stuff. She has like big pointy ears.
She's like a werewolf.
Yeah, she's like a werewolf. She's like the cat ladies in Zombie Island.
Oh,
Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
That's more like my buzz. Yeah.
Yeah. And they have all this. It's pretty well made. Like, it's a very competent kind of horror film, and they have this cool kind of effects. They have a cool way of sort of evoking the horror, where they'll have, when the cat lady attacks someone, it'll all be shown from behind like the screens they have in Japan, and just have like this cat figure with big ears like attacking people. That's kind of creepy. It's creepy in a way that, like, if I was like 12 and I saw this on TV late at night, I'd be like, it'd still be in my head. Yeah. Like if I saw the cat lady, because she just looks really weird. She moves very strangely, because obviously it's quite an old film, and it's Japan, like 1958, and it wasn't a big film. It's still not a big film. It's very like.
Is this even a cult movie?
I don't think it is. It's not well known, but like it has like 10,000 views on YouTube. Yeah. You know, like people into this would know, I assume.
Yeah. People into old Japanese horror films would know what this is.
Yeah. And but like she has this weird way of moving. It must have been like the limitations of whatever special effects they had back at the time. But like obviously the cat lady is supernatural, and she can float around and like do backflips and stuff. Like she does backflips, you know. She's a cat. I've never seen a cat do a backflip, but like it's just the way it works. It's very creepy, very kind of very spooky. Yeah, really. And I thought it was pretty good. Because I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. And like the only reason I watched this, because this is actually, it's like the parts set in modern times are in black and white, and the parts in feudal Japan are actually like pretty cool color, like sort of Technicolor.
Oh, that's so weird.
Which is a bit strange, yeah.
You think it'd be the reverse?
You think it'd be the reverse. Plus, it's 1958. You're thinking it'd just all be in black and white. Yeah. And the reason I watched this is because every other cat movie in Japan is all black and white. So I was like,
fuck that.
I was like, I just want to watch, you know, some colorful film. But yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah, because when I watched House, that's also about a ghost cat as well.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, more or less about a ghost cat.
They love their cats.
Yeah, I didn't know something about Japanese culture I've never really noticed before. They have cat maidens as well, don't they?
Cat maidens.
Cat maids, like maids that go around with little cat ears.
Do they?
I think so. Like maid cafes and stuff like that. They wear little cat ears.
That's definitely a thing, though. The cat ears thing.
Yeah.
And the Hello Kitty.
Kawaii.
Yeah, kawaii. Yeah, kawaii culture. Yeah. I don't know. Well, they're onto something, you know.
Cute.
There's not
the cats in general. I mean the cat maidens.
I mean the cats. Yeah. Like cats obviously they have a kind of demonic vibe to them. I think everyone gets that. Every culture universally gets that.
It's because you can't trust them.
Yeah, it's because they act like they're above everything, which is like
they've got notions.
Yeah, which it's kind of creepy when, like, you know, humans, the apex predator, past like 50, 100,000 years,
conquered everything except for cats.
Conquered everything, conquered the moon, and then this cat's like acting like it owns everything and that it owns us. It's kind of weird, you know. It kind of,
how dare you?
Yeah, it's kind of like what does he know that I don't?
Yeah.
So, but
why is my cat staring up into the corner for no reason as well?
Yeah.
My cat does that a lot. I was like, what do you see, Millie?
Yeah, because they have like extra sensory perception and all, like
seeing ghosts and shit.
Seeing ghosts, yeah. But like, there's not enough cat-based horror films, and I thought this was a cool kind of antidote to that. And I obviously had no idea Japan was so into demonic cats. But we need more of that around here. You know, witches and stuff.
Yeah, make a banshee into a cat.
Yeah. Wasn't that a thing?
Sure it was. At some stage. Probably was. Yeah. Japan's culture is wild, which we've talked about before. So interesting. So different.
Yeah, they're just not like us at all. Like,
yeah. So different.
They're just mad weird.
Got fucking bidets and shit.
They actually cleaned our hall.
Yeah. Let you wash it? It wouldn't be me. Do you ever wash your ass in the shower?
No, I'm European.
I don't even wipe. Air dry.
Yeah, exactly. You need to. It's like, you shouldn't wash your hair too often.
Yeah, man, I saw a TikTok about that. You're not even meant to get your hair wet. You should be wearing shower caps or whatever.
For what?
For when you're in the shower.
Who said that?
Some dude on TikTok.
Some grimy fella with dreads or something.
It was actually a fella that didn't have hair, I'm pretty sure, on TikTok. I'm pretty sure his head was shaved.
There's no way, like.
Yeah, because I was like, surely not.
I did that for ages where I didn't use shampoo for like.
Yeah, I don't use
quite a while.
I don't use shampoo all the time.
But like, and it's fine. It works fine. But
Yeah.
after a while, you have to be washing it.
I'm also a sweaty boy, like.
Oh yeah. I'm the same. Like my hair just get like fucking drenched in grease.
Picking out fucking food and shit like that. Like,
Just go weeks without showering at all.
oh, you need olive oil? Don't worry about it.
Well, isn't that a thing? See, there's like some celebrities. There's some article talking about how celebrities in Hollywood don't shower. They shower once a week. That's like a trend now.
Yeah, but they also bathe in blood, so I'm not surprised.
That's
like,
true. That's true. Children's blood. It's all true.
That's not. The celebrities don't shower.
Yeah, do you know that was a thing for a while?
No.
That was like for some reason Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet come to mind. They were like featured in the article or something. Maybe that's defamation, but like something about how they only shower every so often because it's bad for your skin. That's not true. That can't be true.
Those greasy little slime bags.
See, they can afford not to shower because people will be nice to them no matter what.
Yeah, and they also
Us average people will smell, and people will be like, "You're a fucking weirdo. Stay away from me."
Yeah, they're like, you can't show up to work and smell. Like they can.
Yeah.
They don't have to go to. Like they don't have to work. Basically, is what I'm saying. They don't have to leave the house.
Yeah.
Fucking the elites.
The elites.
Is that going to be the next like the way that like in olden culture, like having pure white skin showed that you didn't have to work outside? It's just being a complete greasy slime bag going to be proof that like your social hierarchy, because you don't have to go out and work basically.
Yeah, because you have a layer of grime all over your skin.
Peel it off. We could all have that working from home now.
Yeah, exactly.
Dorothy.
Yeah, have you been up watching anything similar?
I watched Mother.
Ooh.
Bong Joon-ho.
Big Bong.
Good
to see him again.
He's back again.
I also watched this.
Yeah. Mother, Bong Joon-ho, film that he made after The Host. Yes, the film that he made after The Host,
2009.
but before Snowpiercer. So there's the timeline.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah. What did you think of Mother?
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too.
I thought it was good. It's his most acclaimed film.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Probably because it subverts your expectations very hard. Like minor spoilers for Mother, because it is about like it's a bit of a whodunit. Which is, I don't know. I feel like, I wonder if it is like a little bit of a commentary on the film Memories of Murder. I was going to say The Host, but the Memories of Murder, because Memories of Murder is kind of like Zodiac. Like it's also about a body is found, who done it, and Mother is also kind of about that. It's also about extreme parental coddling and love and unconditional love or whatever. Not being able to come to terms that your son may have done something really fucked up.
Yeah. See, my main problem with Mother is the son is totally unlikable.
I hated him.
He's so annoying.
And he got worse.
Yeah, he gets way worse. Like he's really flawed at the start, and you're like, oh, like that's who he is.
Yeah.
That's his character. But then he just gets more annoying.
Yeah, he gets
like,
more annoying.
I don't feel like it was necessary at all for him to be so annoying, because it just kind of it's kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, because I didn't enjoy it. I was watching like the first like 20, 30, 40 minutes of this film. I was like, oh no, not a Bong Joon-ho film that I'm actually going to dislike. Like actively dislike.
Yeah. Well, the start is good.
But then when it gets into
it's like
the murder stuff, I'm like,
yeah,
it's literally just, it's kind of spinning its wheels and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
Like, come on, pick up the pace a bit. This is boring.
Yeah. But it has, it does pick up though with when the mother is running around. The titular mother is running around, kind of like trying to exonerate her son.
Yeah.
And then you have like there's a whole big twists and there's like there's development.
Yeah.
Things happen. But I was so annoyed by like that second quarter where like it's just the kid, it's just the son just like being a wanker.
He's just a cunt.
Yeah, he's just like leave him in jail.
And he's so like he's too passive.
Yeah,
I know he's a character that has a disability, but come on.
He's supposed to be disabled. You're like, is he disabled?
Yeah.
Like, is it? I don't know. Like, is he just a wanker? He's just a bad guy.
Is he just a fucking mooch?
Yeah, he seems alright. Like, he seems pretty. Like, he can handle himself.
Mm.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the moral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it was good. I thought I actually don't have much to say about it. Now I'm talking about it, I actually don't have much to say about it. But it was good. Like, it was grand. It is like
it's an Oedipal drama.
Jesus, they were definitely fucking him and his man 100%. Yeah. That like when like he gets the piss taken out over that, it's like he definitely was.
Yeah, she goes mental.
Yeah, she goes wild. I did like the bit where she's like where the two dudes, the two like school guys are getting interrogated by your man's mate, and at some stage he's like laughing like, oh yeah, you're like Amato, whatever the fuck his name is, was definitely fucking his mom, and he just kicks him straight in the face.
Yeah,
his tooth is fucking missing. He's like, ugh. It's fucked up.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good though.
It was good. I recommend it.
I wouldn't. Memories of Murder by far, way better.
Yeah,
way better in my opinion.
Yeah, if I was to rank it, it is middle of the road for me in terms of like Bong Joon-ho rankings. Like I think Memories of Murder, Parasite, The Host, then this, then Okja and Snowpiercer. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't think I am though.
I don't know.
I think he only has like 7 or 8 films.
Yeah, it's kind of like Okja where like it's just grand.
Yeah,
you know.
Okja is even more. It's grand though for me.
I liked Okja. Like it's not grand and like I like
Okja.
It's all right. Like you could watch it. It's a good watch.
You
know, but it's not like Memories of Murder is something that I think is worth. I think everyone should watch.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Like that's a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're comparable at all.
Which is wild because Memories of Murder is his second film.
Yeah. How do you pull that off? What's his first film?
Barking Dogs Never Bite. I haven't seen it yet. I know nothing about that film.
Must be shy.
I don't know. I think it's just the first film.
Be interesting to watch though.
Yeah, like I have it in the collection, so I'll watch it at some stage. But like, yeah, like with Mother, I don't know what it is. The Bong Joon-ho third acts are fucking wild. All of them, they're all like they all just escalate very quickly.
Yeah, there's a great crescendo. You know, like everything kind of like dovetails in a nice little way. It's like it's very dramatic, you know, because it's all kind of there's like a low intensity throughout the entire kind of second act. Yeah, which is which really pays off. It always pays off really well. But yeah, the only problem was I just have that kid, man. They should have got a better guy for him. Like.
And I feel like I feel like I would love this film if I actually gave a shit about him.
Yeah. See, if he's sympathetic, I feel like there was no reason. Like, fair if there's something to be said about he's obnoxious and he's ignorant and he's just like he's a spoiled kid. But I don't think you really need that in the film.
There was quite literally no redeeming qualities for this character. I can't think of one.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think they're like.
I don't. But like, is that a writing issue or is the guy just a bad actor? Because I was watching it like 20 minutes in, I was like, is this guy just a bad actor?
Yeah, but I meant to like this character.
Yeah.
And like he's there creeping on the girl before she gets murdered. That's why he gets like blamed for it because he's like pure creeping on her.
Because he's a creep. Yeah. Which is like.
He's there hitting on a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
16. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
And he's there, wants to fuck his mom as well.
It's a good one though. The ending's very good.
Yeah, by the end of it, it definitely makes up for it. You know, it's an entertaining thriller. Who done it? And the main mom, even the way that she was like proper coddled him, annoyed me as well at the start. Because I was just like, this just makes me feel weird. I don't feel sympathy towards this character. At the end, by the middle points I did, but at the start I was like, I don't feel any sympathy for this character.
For the son.
For the son or the mom, I was like, I don't give a shit about either of these characters.
I thought the mom was like obviously crazy and neurotic, but like,
yeah.
I thought that was like, that's like the point, you know? It's like, oh, she's flawed, but she's trying to do her best for her son. I thought, these are my initial impressions, that the son was like, oh, he's goofy and he's an idiot, but like, you know, he means the best and he loves his man and all. But the ma, my impression of the ma is, I think, is pretty true in the end.
Yeah, by the end of the film,
But the son it's just like, he just doesn't seem to have any kind of loyalty to anyone.
Yeah.
He's just a wanker, like.
He's just a wanker. He's just a wanker, like.
You know? I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely by the end of the film, like, the whole message of, like, parental love or whatever going to extreme, moms and sons and stuff like that, you know, it goes somewhere, but, like, I don't know. He's such a mama's boy. Who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah, God rest him.
Oh, God bless him. We go for a break.
Yeah.
Tell you what else I watched this week.
Hi.
I watched another new 2021 film starring our boy Nick Cage. Back once again.
He's back again. How many films
with the Renegade Master?
Yeah. He's been busy.
He's been a busy boy this year.
Busy guy, like.
This is Prisoners of the Ghostland, which I keep trying to say Ghost of the Prisonland. This is Prisoners of the Ghostland, directed by Sion Sono. He's the guy that directed Love Exposure, that 4-hour-long Japanese film that I watched a while ago. Mad bastard, all the same. And this is his new film, his first like American production film. And he's got Nick Cage. So you got a crazy Japanese director. Obviously, someone good won in British Bake Off.
Yeah, big cheer.
The big cheers. Yeah. Crazy Japanese director, well known for being eccentric and mad, and also Nick Cage. Bill Mosley, the guy that Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw. He's also in this film. So, you know,
how did he build a career off that? Like,
I know, man, mad, isn't it?
40-year career, 40 years,
just off fucking impersonating the hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw.
Goes to show.
Yeah. So this is, you know, you expect this to be a crazy film, and it really isn't. I mean, visually it kind of is. Visually, it's out there, but in terms of like content, not really, and like not in a way that subverts your expectations. Where much like Pig, which is another film that Nick Cage did this year, and I talked about, where it subverts your expectations and becomes like an anti-revenge film. This is just a kind of nothing film where nothing mad or cool or crazy ever really happens. And it's super disappointing. It's not a very good film.
How long is it?
An hour and 50? An hour and 45?
That's grand. It's not 4 hour long.
Yeah, at least it's not 4 hours long. Yeah, it's just a kind of nothing film where, like, it's a post-nuclear Japan, which you think is going to say something. And it has like
a post-apocalyptic Japan.
Yeah, because of like nukes.
Because of nukes, yeah.
And it's about this American comes in, and he like makes this weird town, called Samurai Town, I think it's called, and it's just like
on the nose
synthesis, yeah, the synthesis of like Western, like Old West, like cowboys, era, and like medieval shogun era Japan, like blended together, which is a cool aesthetic. And you think that will say something, but it doesn't.
It's just aesthetic.
It's just aesthetic. It's literally style. It is the most style over substance film I've seen in a very long time. There's this big clock with these people, like the clock is like ticking, and the people are like, it's like this cult kind of like tribe that live out in the Ghostland, which is the nuclear wasteland, and they're like they hold the clock from ticking forward because they believe that if it ticks and it keeps going forward, there'll be another nuclear attack. So it's like holding back time to prevent another disaster from happening. Doesn't really say anything with that. That's just a concept.
Yeah, you could have explored that. Like,
there's a lot of things that you could have explored, and it somehow manages to say absolutely nothing about any of it, or at least in a way that I couldn't read. And in fact, the majority of people seemingly haven't been able to read into anything about this film because this is not a well-regarded film.
Yeah, something like 50%, isn't it? On
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of surprising because I looked it up, and I saw Nick Cage in it, and I just didn't really look further into it. But I thought it was just like one of those, Nick Cage films.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hot or cold. You don't know what he's going to be. But the fact that it's your man, Sion Sono,
Yeah.
like, he's clearly a big player,
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly knows what he's trying to do. But what was he trying to do here?
No idea.
No one seems to know.
Like, also kind of like Willy's Wonderland at the start of the year. Great concept. Nick Cage again, gonna be a wild concept, but it isn't that either. Like, it's also like much like Willy's Wonderland, disappointing and doesn't really achieve anything in the end.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I don't know what happened.
What's Nicolas Cage's role?
His name is Hero, like he's just referred to as the hero, and he is captured at the start of the film, and he's in prison for a bank robbery that went wrong, and his mate called Psycho killed a bunch of people, and then Nick Cage got caught.
Oh, Psycho.
Classic
Psycho.
And
he just does that.
He's forced to wear this suit that has like bombs on like the arms and 2 on the balls and 1 around his neck, because the guy that put the bomb on him wants him to go off and like bring back his granddaughter, but like his granddaughters, there's multiple of them, they're just like sex slaves.
Oh, okay.
So he wants him to go off and like get her back for him. And when Nick Cage finds her, she's kind of dressed as like a mannequin, and she's not really saying anything. And you're like, okay, so she's not able to talk because like the trauma that she's gone through. But like the mannequin thing, this woman being like constructed and, literally having things put onto her as a mannequin, like, that's the thing that we talk about like a few times. But like the same thing in like Mulholland Drive, like you can construct this woman to be whatever you want her to be. Again, doesn't say anything about that, doesn't do anything with that concept. They're literally, all these cool concepts are presented to you, and yet the film never ties them together to have like a theme or a message about anything. And it's, again, just concepts and style over substance. And it's such a weird film because it's from this director where these crazy concepts and these weird themes and these weird messages can say something. Like, I watched the first Sion Sono film I watched was Anti-Porno that I talked about on the podcast, where like mad crazy visuals, has a message. Ultimately, I knew that it was trying to say something, but didn't know what it was saying. This is the opposite, where I can clearly read these signifiers, but they don't point to anything.
Yeah, they don't go here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. Yeah, Anti-Porno seemed pretty confusing though.
And that's when that film's only like an hour and 10 minutes, so that was fine.
Oh right, yeah.
But yeah, and even in terms of like, okay, fine, it doesn't have that stuff. Does it have, it's a bit like Mandy, where it is just like crazy cool vibes and visuals, and you get like loads of action. No action up until the end of the film, and when the action does come around, it's like it's not that good. It's also mad confusing because there's a bit where the big bad guy, the guy that had sent him off to get back this girl, he has like a samurai with them who's his like henchman, and the henchman turns on him, and you're like, okay, they're gonna team up now with Nick Cage. But then him and Nick Cage just start fighting each other, even though they're both fighting the main dude. And I was sitting there like, why are these two fighting now? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why these are fighting.
Yeah, that's never good when you're confused.
Yeah. It's also a white savior film.
Yeah, Nick Cage, he's an immigrant.
Yeah. But he's the guy that saves everyone by the end of the film.
All right, yeah.
And the last thing is like Nick Cage with like the two girls that have been like abused by this guy, and he's like, Samurai Town can really turn into something beautiful, whatever. And he's gonna be, it's like hinted that he's gonna be the leader,
the new shogun.
But like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why is this Japanese director making a white savior film?
Well, Nick Cage.
I guess he is being produced by Americans that like, here, you're gonna make this film.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It was really.
It sounds very weird.
It is.
The name is also really bad. They need a better name.
Prisoners of the Ghostland. Even that title means nothing. Like,
it literally, like, there's no, like, I read it and I looked it up. I was just like, I've no interest in like reading about what the film was about, because just the title doesn't evoke anything at all.
No,
it doesn't tell you anything.
And it doesn't.
They need a better title.
They're all. I think the thing is like everyone's a prisoner
of the Ghostland.
Of the Ghostland, of like, even like Ghostland being like this site of a traumatic nuclear event happening, and there's literally like ghosts that appear or whatever. But again,
they don't say anything about it now.
I don't understand how you could do that. How can you have these like clear symbols, these clear things that could lead to something? It feels like he had this idea, but then the studio like just like cut his Achilles heel and just didn't let him run with it.
Yeah, maybe went too many.
The Americans just wouldn't let him. If this was a Japanese film, he would have said something, but it's an American film. They're like, you're not saying anything.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of all over the shop. Where'd you see it?
It's on Shudder.
Shudder? All right.
Yeah, Shudder just had it. A Shudder exclusive.
Oh, okay. Is that a good thing?
I think it just means that Shudder are the site that have it. They have a few films on Shudder for exclusives. Revenge is another. It's a French film. It's meant to be like a slight subversion. I don't know why I keep trying to say subvertation. A subversion of like a rape revenge story.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's from a feminist standpoint.
Yeah.
So like that sounds cool. And I do want to see. I want to watch that. But you need to be in the mood to watch a rape revenge film.
Yeah,
so,
you really need to strike that mood.
Yeah. But yeah, a strange film. Like 2021. Majority of films that I've seen from 2021 haven't been good.
Yeah, it's not been a great year, has it?
No.
It's not been a great year. To be fair, I've only seen like 4 or 5, I think. But
I've seen a bunch of films, but a lot of them have been like off the top of my, like, well, Cosmic Sin and Karen, but just put them to one side. That like Fear Street trilogy. I watched did you watch any of that?
I didn't see them, no.
I watched the first one. I was like, this is shit. I
Mm.
was like, this is so bad.
R.L. Stein, man.
Yeah.
Just remake Goosebumps as a TV show.
Yeah.
Just do that. Like,
just do that.
I
don't understand it. Pig was the good one. Dune was good.
Dune was good. Dune is
Suicide Squad
is
is good.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. That's also good. Yeah. But like, they're not hitting it out of the park. To be fair, you can't expect that every time. But
I expect something decent. Like,
well, yeah, because there's been so much build up. Like how much did they have in the vault over the last 2 years? And this is all that's come out.
Yeah.
Like,
and that just means like next year and the year after that it's gonna be fucking grim. Because no films were being made for those couple of years. Like,
yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
For like last year and the year before, like this year as well. Really, kind of like, what's coming out next year?
I don't know. Halloween
3.
Halloween 3. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe we'll probably see like a straying away from the cinema.
More indies.
Yeah, maybe. Definitely more of a focus on streaming anyway. Like there's not that many event films coming out to sustain a cinema.
No.
Is there?
Ridley Scott was fucking snapping over the last
duel. I haven't seen the thing. I've seen a few posters. I thought it was a film from 3 years ago.
Yeah, it looks like a film from 3 years ago.
Yeah. Like maybe something decent will come out. You see the new Blade Runner? Oh no, wait, we'll do that for news. But House of Gucci maybe.
Yeah, House of Gucci.
That's not an event film though,
that new Jane Campion film is something really good.
Who's that?
I think she's James Cameron's wife.
Jane Cameron or Jane Campion?
Jane Campion, no. James Cameron, no. Jane Campion.
All right.
She directed a film called The Piano, which is on Netflix, and her new film with Benedict Cumberbatch is like it's about masculinity.
He's been off the map for a while.
Yeah, but apparently this is really good, and it's also coming on to Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I'll have to watch that.
That'd be good to see. That's gonna be a real Oscar buzz film. Of course, I haven't seen Spencer either.
Oh, the Diana film.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be interested in watching that. I wouldn't be interested in
it either.
Yeah, like who cares? That's a real like. That's for like the generation before probably.
That's a boomer movie.
Yeah, that's a pure boomer. Like who really cares? They should make a film about Prince Andrew.
They should make a film about Prince Andrew.
But
That's what they should do.
Avatar 2 is coming out next year. Batman's coming out in February.
Can't wait.
Man, I'm low-key kind of excited for Avatar 2.
I just want to know, what does that film... Will
he pull it out of the bag again? That's all I want to know. Will he do it again?
Has he made a film since Avatar?
I don't think he has. Yeah, he produced
he had the
Ghost in the Shell, I think.
I think
Alita. He produced Alita.
That's the last thing he did was Avatar. That is wild.
Like that's, but the film he did before that, Titanic.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean
that's $4 billion between two films. How did he do that? Will he do it again?
Is Avatar 2 going to be good?
Well, obviously not. No way.
No way.
Well, will it be? I don't know, because it sort of has to be, doesn't it, if it's going to be big? Surely he won't do it again. He won't pull it off again. Because Avatar wasn't that great, obviously, but it was acceptable. It's an acceptable action film.
Yeah.
But will this one be any good? Because I saw some interview he did with, I don't know, it was one of those climate conferences they had in like the last year or so, and he's talking about, like, you know, he's big into the sea and stuff.
Yeah, he's mad into the sea.
Yeah, he loves the sea for some reason. Avatar 2 is set under the sea.
Can't wait.
Under the sea. It's the first time, it's the first time a film has ever been filmed underwater, I think. Like, he actually filmed it underwater. Somehow, I don't know.
But the effects, bro.
Yeah, but how would you do that with the actors, you know?
But scuba suits. Scuba suits and then those, like, mocap costumes on them on top.
Yeah, but so he's done that. And he was doing this interview where he's talking about how capitalism needs to be dismantled and all. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
We need to go underwater to escape capitalism.
Yeah. It's like, your last film grossed $3 billion. And he's like, we need to end capitalism. It's like, what's he going for? Clearly he's either very confused or he's just in an entirely different level of thinking.
Yeah, he's bad. His fourth eye has opened up.
Yeah, that's what, like,
How old is James Cameron?
Maybe it has.
James Cameron's 60 something.
He's pretty old.
1954. He's 10 years older than my dad. It's just like nearly 70.
Jesus.
James Cameron, you mad bastard.
How does he do it? Oh. You know? Minions, The Rise of Gru.
Oh, there we go. Film of the year.
Film of the year. Legally Blonde 3.
Oh, Jesus, film again.
Yeah, this isn't a bad year.
Yeah,
Scream.
Oh, yeah, the new Scream movies.
This film called Dog.
There you go.
It's just
Dog.
The adaptation of Dogs. Mission Impossible 7. I thought that already came out.
Who gives a shit about Mission Impossible? Like,
Mission Impossible is good.
I haven't seen them.
Nah, man. Well, I don't know. They're very good action films. Like Mission Impossible. I can't remember.
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation. I definitely saw them in cinemas, and they're very good in terms of action films. Like, they're just really well made.
Yeah.
So, you know, compared to what else we'd be getting. Jackass Forever. That's coming out. That'd be a good one. There's a film called Elvis, which has Bob Dylan on the front. I think everyone's very confused. Knives Out 2 is coming out.
I've got Elvis, got Bob Dylan on the cover.
It's about Bob Dylan instead.
That's so funny.
It's a real Bob Dylan take. Yeah. So, Downton Abbey 2. Oh, no.
One for the mams.
Oh, God.
One for the boomers.
Yeah, Predator 5.
That film is called Prey.
It's called Skull.
Oh.
Well, maybe there's 2 films coming out.
I thought the next Predator film was called Prey.
Yeah. Oh, no, it is called Prey. It used to be called Skull.
See what they did there? Because the first one's called Prey and the new one's called...
Whoa, yeah. What?
Mad.
Jesus.
Who thought of that?
That's a great reference.
Yeah.
Reference to the title of the film.
Is the Predator going to be the prey this time? Dun, dun, dun.
No.
It's going to fuck people up.
Obviously not. Yeah, it won't be that bad. Hocus Pocus 2, that sounds strange.
Hocus Pocus isn't good. Like, I'm sorry. Hocus Pocus is shit.
I'm glad someone else said it. It's shite.
It's shite,
man.
It was never
so
good.
Bad. I never understood how people like that film.
It doesn't matter how hot... what's her name? Sarah... What the fuck's her name?
I don't know.
I'm from Sex and the City.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, Sarah, she's hot in that film just because she's got tits out to the max.
Does she?
Oh, jeez, her tits are out for that film.
Is she in Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, she's in Hocus Pocus.
I can't remember.
He plays the ditzy one.
I just remember the witches freaked me out.
Yeah, the older witches are.
Yeah, just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Not like
Sarah Jessica Parker's one of the witches.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's the blonde witch.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has my heart, that witch.
My witch.
So yeah, the last film that we'll talk about on tonight's episode. Is the third highest rated film on Letterboxd, Harakiri, directed by Kobayashi, but I'm gonna find out his first name. Fuck, is it Kobayashi? Shit.
Yeah, it's Kobayashi.
Is it Kobayashi?
I remember seeing that.
Fuck yeah, Kobayashi.
Directed by Kobayashi.
Just fucking bail on that.
Forget about it. It doesn't matter.
Forget about it. It's a samurai movie.
Yeah.
Harakiri is actually
Seppuku.
Sudoku performing Sudoku on the stomach. Third highest rated film on Letterboxd. You know, big things going for this film.
That's
So,
huge clout.
All the pretentious clout you could want, and it's good.
It's good.
It's really good.
Is it the third best film of all time?
Not the third best film of all time, but it's like it's the first samurai film I've seen. It's the best samurai film I've seen. It's really, really good. It is. I can clearly see why. Like, I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. Like, I did really. I watched this film. I was like, I don't really have any flaws with this film. Like, the only flaw that I would have with the film is that it is slow, but it's slow in a way that deals with like the narrative structure of the film. So the film starts off with this guy showing up at this mansion, this like shogun kind of place, and he's like, I want to perform harakiri. And there's like, weird that you mentioned that, because there's been a lot of Ronin coming around. So Ronin is samurais so a samurai was like employed by a master. He was the shogun or whatever. But when that shogun died, or like, you know, wasn't a shogun anymore or whatever, and samurai were unemployed, they became Ronin. So that's what a Ronin is.
So they're just on the dole?
Just on the dole, just floating about, having nothing to do.
Just ways to samurai.
I'm pretty sure that's where the Yakuza eventually came from.
Oh, really?
Is like Ronin and samurai and stuff like that, like formed together as like bandits or whatever, and that led on to eventually crime families or whatever. So I think that's where that came from. But also because Yakuza, the Yakuza have like strict sense of like codes and stuff like that, which also samurai do. So
the code of honor.
It's just part of Japanese culture. And this film is a critique a lot of that like aspect of Japanese culture. So a Ronin shows up, samurai shows up, whatever, and he's like, I want to perform seppuku, and he's just like, yeah, sure, but it's weird that you mentioned that, because like a bunch of samurai have been coming around to like masters and stuff like that, and saying that they want to perform seppuku, but like the masters don't want them to do that, so they'll pay them to go away, and the samurai actually never intend on, you know, carrying out the seppuku. And we had a fella come the other day, like a few months ago or whatever, and he wanted to perform seppuku, and he really didn't want to do it, but we forced him to do it. And they tell the story of this guy that shows up, and he's like, I want to do harakiri, and they're just like, yeah, sure, come on, we'll get you in. And like he's like, it's shown the story from that, and he's like sweating bull. He's like, fuck, I didn't expect him to let me do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I actually don't have a sword. He gets up and tries to run at one stage, and they stop him, and like, either you perform harakiri and you live up to this code of honor, or we'll slaughter you like a dog. And he's just like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll do it. I don't have a sword. I only have a bamboo sword. And like, well, the samurai's sword is their soul, so fucking do it with the bamboo. And he has to like fall on this bamboo sword, and it is painful to watch. Like, it goes on, it's agonizing to watch. And then they hit him in the head and stuff like that, right? So this guy's like, yeah, no, don't worry about it, I'll fucking do it. So he rocks up, and he's ready to go, and he's like, I want this person to be my second, to be the guy to decapitate me. And they're like, oh well, he's actually sick, he's not here. And he's like, well, go get him, because I want him to be the guy that to do it. So they send a messenger off, and while your man's running off to get the fella, the samurai who's kneeling down is like, I'll tell you this story, that I actually know the samurai that came beforehand actually know him because we grew up in the same shogun temple or whatever. And he tells the story, and they're like, oh yeah, cool. And then the messenger comes back and he's like, no, he's sick, he can't come. And he's like, okay, grand. Well, I want this other guy to do it. And they're like, well, he's not here either. And they're like, then your man's like, weird. Well, I want this third fellow to do it. And they're like, he's also not here. All three of these people are sick. And they like, the master of the house like walks away or whatever. He's like, this guy's up to something. Like the three people that he wants to do this to be his second aren't here. So they come back and they're like, we don't have this dude, just fucking do it. And like tensions rise, and your man tells the story more and more. And he tells his backstory of like how eventually he got to the stage where he's going to perform Harakiri. And like, because of the narrative structure, how the film flows, it's very like, I was an hour and a half into the film, and I thought that the film was wrapping up. Because it's like, he tells the story, and then we cut back, and he's like, okay, here we go, he's gonna do it. He's like, hold up, I have one more thing to say. Like, and it keeps like moving forward and then stopping and then going back in time. So it is kind of like the flow of the film is a bit strange like that, but I can't really critique the film for that, because the narrative structure is like where the storytelling genius of the film comes into play, because you realize from like him telling these stories, you understand why the first samurai was reluctant to do it, and like why he was very like dishonorable. Because like obviously you're coming into the film and you're like, well, he should like from our, you know, from everything that you know about samurai and like harakiri and stuff like that, you're like, well, he should do it because he said he was gonna do it, and he's a little fucking rat weasel if he's gonna bitch out from doing it.
Yeah.
But you understand why he's like that, and like everything about it. And the film is a critique of these traditional Japanese morals and values or whatever. And the whole, there's basically a bit where like the samurai on the ground is like, samurai values and all this type of stuff is a facade. It's bullshit. No one actually lives up to this stuff. It's all about seeming like you do, but like no one actually does. And there's this symbol in the master's house of this like ancient like armor of like, you know, the great samurai, but the samurai armor is literally empty. Like there's nothing, there's the facade of it, and there's nothing actually within it. And like the samurai is from Hiroshima, which is a film from 1962. I feel like it's definitely saying something about
you'd hope so. Yeah, Hiroshima. You know, what does that mean though? I
feel like it's like it's this guy coming forward, but like it's a rebellion movie. It's very anti-authoritarian. So I feel like the film is kind of like Hiroshima happened, and you know the generals and stuff like that like kind of had this idea of like you know, we'll never surrender, or whatever, which also isn't true. Like that's not actually what happened. But from a Japanese, that's not, I feel like that's maybe what it's saying. But like, you know, that wasn't really true. But even that idea, like, you know, Japanese nobility, like we never give up, never let down, is a load of fucking bollocks, because it actually has human cost to it, and we can see that with Hiroshima.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like cutting off your nose to spite the face.
Yeah.
Does that even work in that analogy? But yeah, the whole code of honor.
Yeah.
Mad that they had that.
Mad. It is crazy. And we talked about Mishima, you know, him actually performing Harakiri.
He was
like
something else.
Like,
what a story that is.
But that's the level of fucking like fascist love you need to have, like this completely falling in love with the idea, but the idea isn't true. And even like it's a critique of like these figures of authority expect the people below them to fulfill this grand idea of the sense of duty or honor or whatever, but they themselves aren't actually willing to do it.
Yeah, it's just like a facade to keep the people in line or whatever. Yeah, to keep the class system calcified. And
even at the end of the film, like the master is like writing in his diary about what happened, and he's writing down a lie. Like he doesn't actually tell what the truth behind like everything that happened in the film. He writes down something to like tidy it up, and like, so the lie of this facade of like Japanese nobility, honor and stuff like that can keep going on, but it's all a load of bollocks.
Yeah. But they have to. They have to pretend it's true. Yeah, that's so cool. Because you can apply that to everything as well.
Everything.
Like, it's not just about Japan, obviously.
Yeah. It's a universal thing.
Yeah. Because you have that idea, obviously, of like the code of honor, you know, Samurai Jack kind of thing. It's like you have to cut off your own head, you know. But obviously, that's just something that, you know, the emperor was like, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Because I
say so.
Yeah. Like the people in charge said
do you
that.
not care about Japan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they used nationalism or like some sense of social compulsion to keep people in line. But you can apply that to, you know, like us or like the West and anything Europe, all the lads, you know. It's like if you're not living up to a certain standard, which isn't, you know, actually reflected in reality anywhere really at all, then you're not worthy. Like you have to maintain a pretense at all times, no matter what, no matter the cost, personal or social or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's good. It's fucked. There's a great bit as well where like the samurai, he's flashing back and forth between what happened, and like there's a moment where like he's the samurai that came before him and performed bamboo harakiri. He's his son-in-law, and they like after they had to flee like the palace and everything they were from, like the samurai's daughter is sick, and her kid is also sick, and so that samurai that came before him to perform harakiri sells off. He has a bamboo sword and stuff like that because he sold off his blades because like this shit doesn't fucking matter. Like I need money to take care of my family. And the oldest samurai is just like, I never thought of doing that. Like I never thought that like I could just, like, these are just things. They don't really matter. They don't mean anything. The actual people around me are what matters. They're the ones that I need to be focusing on rather than this bullshit idea of honor that will just lead me to dying.
yeah, killing myself, yeah.
Like, I'm literally killing myself and I will accomplish nothing from actually doing this. Just this bullshit idea of what I should be. And he's like, oh yeah, shit, we could have sold our blades and we could have made money. It's too late now, but oh well.
I know they all have.
Yeah. That's the thing, though.
They're all gone now.
Yeah.
God bless them. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
It's really good. Really good.
How long is it?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours 10. What's on? Mubi?
I have it on Blu-ray.
Ah, right.
It was a blind buy. I was like, Letterboxd top 3 movies.
Don't fail me now.
Don't fail me now. This thing's like 15, 20 quid. Come on.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
It's really good. And it makes me now want to watch, more samurai films.
Yeah, 7 Samurai, we're coming for you.
We're coming for you eventually.
Yeah, any day now.
Over 3 hours, we'll do it. Don't test me.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's like a genre of films that I literally know nothing about. Samurai films.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them,
Yeah.
I thought it's just kind of westerns. That's the impression I have.
Yeah, because that's all that you ever hear, know?
Yeah, that's just what you hear, yeah.
Like, the westerns just ripped off samurai films.
Yeah. We're all kind of samurai in our own way,
It's weird, though, because, would you think that cowboys didn't... That was the whole thing with cowboys, is that they didn't really have a code of honor. They're just wild.
Well, they have John Wayne and the Searchers and stuff like that, like the cowboy archetype where
Jesse
he's like
James.
the fictional idea of Jesse James. He's like, he's a man of honor. He robs from the rich and gives to the poor. He's like, he's always a gentleman with women and stuff like that. Where obviously, like, none of that was true.
Yeah.
At all. Like, nothing. Like, obviously there was people like that, probably, but they're just normal people who weren't written about.
Yeah.
Like, the reality is something more like Blood Meridian. You have like fucking giant albino lads raping kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Not a good time.
No.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like the kind of idea. It's like even the Übermensch, like the Nazi Übermensch, that was taken from cowboys. Like the idea. I
didn't realize that.
The idea that they go out, like, the way the Americans were like, go west.
Yeah.
Go out, settle in the west, build a homestead, have your wife and your 10 kids, whatever. The Nazis were like, go east.
Yeah.
Settle in the east, have like a German wife, have loads of German babies, but like you'll be a settler, you'll be like a pioneer on this new frontier of the fatherland or whatever. It's all the same thing.
It is, yeah.
Really.
And like Japan does the same thing. Well, have your honor, like live by your master, expand your empire.
Yeah, stay in line. Yeah. Most of all.
Yeah, most importantly, stay in fucking line.
Yeah.
Don't you get too big for your boots, or else even there's also this kind of thing of like any crime or any sin can be forgiven in this culture if you just kill yourself.
Yeah,
like if you just perform this really brutal way of killing yourself, but like it will redeem all your sins, but also it accomplishes literally nothing. Like it doesn't. You're just killing yourself. You're not actually redeeming yourself for anything. You're just having this brutal death, and somehow in the eyes of people it's like, oh, he re-honored himself or whatever. But like still, did he actually
did he?
Don't think so. Like
not really.
Yeah.
Just a confession.
Yeah, just confess.
Just confess. Oh, you killed a few people. I'm pretty sure the priest has to tell the guards if you kill people.
I'm sure that's it. Like, because I always thought that's like, surely if you came to the guards, like, or to the priest, like, yeah, I have like 5 people locked up in my basement. I feel really bad about it. Can I just do 5 Hail Marys and I'm all good?
Yeah, that's I've definitely. Priests have definitely ratted before.
Oh, I feel like they'd have to.
Yeah.
Either that or just like give us a healthy donation there and we'll let this slide.
Yeah, a little, what are they called? Indulgence.
Yeah.
Get you straight into heaven.
Don't worry about it.
411.
Mad. But it is cool because it is like it's a universe. Like it's very explicitly talking to Japan, but it's a universal message.
Yeah, of course. That's,
all
the great films.
All great art does that.
All great art.
And Harakiri is one of those great art. It's good. It's slow, but again, like its structure is the reason why it's slow, but its structure is the reason why it's also very good.
Yeah.
So, it kind of balances it out. It's also beautifully shot. This is great, like, sword fight in like tall grass. Looks amazing.
Is it black and white?
Black and white.
Ah.
Black and white foreign language film. Look at me.
Yeah. Living the dream.
Living the dream. Which moves us on to our news section.
Our news section this week. Well, there's been a lot happening in the news. Most of it not related to films. But there was a thing. I was in the shop there earlier. I was listening to the radio, and not something that I do often. But there was they're talking about a Blade Runner TV series.
Yeah,
is coming down the line.
Blade Runner just keeps existing somehow.
Fair play to it.
Yeah,
fair play to it.
It's a cool world.
Yeah, it's a cool world. I thought they were going to talk about Blade Runner 3. Like that's not going to happen, obviously. I think your man wanted to do it, but even if it was greenlit at this stage, he's busy. But yeah, apparently it's going to be a Blade Runner TV series, but it's produced by Ridley Scott, which is maybe not a good thing considering his kind of hit and miss recent kind of
I think he's
recent times.
He's kind of always been a hit or miss director, hasn't he? Especially more recently.
Well, definitely more recently.
Prometheus and stuff, which I like.
Prometheus is a massive hit for me, but then you have like Exodus. You have like.
Did he do Alien Covenant?
Did he? He might have come back for that. I think yeah. Alien Covenant wasn't that bad.
I hate Alien Covenant.
Nah, Alien Covenant was alright. The sequel to that was rubbish though. There was a sequel they did and it was rubbish. No,
Alien Covenant is the sequel to Prometheus. That's the most recent Alien film.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh yeah.
Alien Covenant.
I must have this wrong.
And Ridley Scott.
Did he not do? Did he not do one after that? No.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah. Well, yeah. There was one that was really bad.
Yeah, no. Alien Covenant is the sequel to Prometheus.
Well, then he's got a hit and a miss.
Yeah.
He's got a swing and a miss. But yeah, he has loads of shy films.
Boy, howdy does he.
Yeah, read
The
them
Martian was decent. Jeez, he did Hannibal. Fuck me.
Hannibal 2002 or whatever.
Yeah. Jesus, I didn't realize that. 2001.
Back in the day.
I haven't seen it, but I just know that's a bad film. House of Gucci himself as well. Yeah, Blade Runner. What do you think? Blade Runner TV show?
Nah. It can't be good, can it? It just can't.
Is it going to be like an hour-long episodes?
Yeah, I think so.
episodes?
I think it's going to be like 10 episodes. It can't be good. I don't know much. I don't know any details. Just heard what thing on the radio.
I mean, you could see how it would work, but I also just think like what's the story to Blade Runner 2049?
What do you mean? What's the story?
Is it like what's the?
Well, your man is Ryan Gosling is a thing. He hunts robots.
Yeah,
but he's also a robot.
So he's like Harrison
Deckard.
Ford.
Yeah, he's like Deckard.
Yeah.
but it's confirmed that Decker's also a robot.
Mm.
Like it says, oh yeah, I'm also a robot,
Yeah.
even though he ages, because they've advanced the technology for the what you call them, the mechs or
Yeah,
whatever.
I can't believe when I watched Blade Runner like this year, I think I did, and then I watched all the short films for Blade Runner 2049.
They were good.
I have yet to see Blade Runner 2049.
You have to see that, man. I think you'd really like that.
I think I would, but I
It was
haven't.
so long though.
That's the thing.
So
I
long.
haven't set
So
out the
bored.
time to sit down and watch Blade Runner 2049 yet.
Yeah, you watch on a big screen.
That's the thing. I also need to claim the TV downstairs.
yeah, you need to watch on a big screen, but it's very boring.
Mm.
So you have to sit down, strap yourself in. I've only seen it the one time, to be fair, so maybe it'd be better on a second watch. But I don't think TV shows have a really bad record recently, don't they? In terms of adapting stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, can we think of a single one that worked in the past few years?
Like the Marvel TV shows are meant to be alright.
Yeah, but like if that's the standard that we're dealing with, I'd prefer they just left it, you know. In terms of like not that it's like but they probably are good, but they're obviously not, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
Like if you're dealing with Blade Runner, it's like
We want a true detective.
I only want, if you're gonna make anything, it should be the best of all time.
Mm.
At
As always,
at least
it should always be the best thing ever made.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. It'd be if it's as good as like, if it's acceptable, you know.
But that's not what you want either. Like I don't want mediocrity and acceptable media. I want something decent. I want something good.
Yeah, it makes you go, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Blade Runner could really have used this.
Yeah, something that expands upon what happened
Yeah.
before. I don't think they could do that though. I'm very doubtful they could.
Which your Blade Runner 2049 kind of flopped, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of did. It made double its budget, but it's still not enough because it was like 200 mil.
Why did Blade Runner? I don't understand why Blade Runner 2049 failed.
Because it was so boring. It was extremely long.
But it was still critically acclaimed.
Yeah, no one cares what the critics
Yeah,
think.
I suppose. Yeah, literally no one cares what the critics
No
think.
one cares. I think it's like it didn't have word of mouth maybe.
Mm.
Because like compared to something like Dune, it's kind of similar to Dune. It has like, it's, you know, the same scale. It's kind of like a very deliberative kind of film. It's like it spends time with the scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like Dune is way more going on, like way more action. Blade Runner 2049 didn't really have any action.
I also think as well, making a sequel to a film that came out at the time, like what, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
30 years beforehand.
Yeah.
I feel like people feel like, oh, I need to watch the first film to watch the new one. And how many people actually end up doing that, you know?
Yeah, true.
Because it is a film that you need to have seen the first film, or at least know the events of
definitely
of the franchise to have watched.
That's very true. Yeah.
So you kind of shoot yourself in the foot doing that, especially when it's nearly 3 hours long.
Yeah.
You know,
that was the main sticking point. So.
Doesn't matter if Ryan Gosling's in it. No matter how hot he is, he can't fix that.
Yeah.
Also, it's Jared Leto in it.
Yeah, he is in it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what his role was. I can't remember, but he is
Some
in
dude.
it. He's just some guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should watch it though. I think
I probably should.
like it.
Ridley Scott was also in the news because he complained about The Last Duel failing.
The Last Duel,
In the box office, blaming millennials and their phones.
Millennials.
Something along those lines, saying that millennials, I don't know what the quote was, but it was like, millennials don't want to learn anything from the cinema or from films. They only want to learn things on their phones. Okay, boomer. Like,
come on, man. Millennials are 40 years old.
that's the thing. Millennials didn't grow up with their phones.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They like their phones, but so do old people. Ever see old people? They love their phones.
Jeez, my dad is always on his phone. Always on his phone.
Like people like Ridley Scott, like he's probably like,
He has a Twitter. He can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I guarantee you he's always on. He's like, how do you do?
How do you work
adjust his
this?
glasses, you know, doing the thing where he's holding it in one hand and using the finger with the other.
I can see he's like that with the lip out, like kind of staring at it.
Yeah, doing the selfie thing where it's just like, you know.
Yeah, for some reason, why the fuck when old people use their phone, is their head so far back?
Yeah, they're looking at it from like it's in their crotch and they're like staring down and they take photos like that, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, just get a decent pair of glasses.
Or just hold it like that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
just
know.
hold it up to your face. Well, no, he's definitely he loves the phones. Everyone loves the phones these days.
I cannot put into words how much I hate that kind of argument. It's like, well, you have no attention span because you're a phone. Like
you're a phone.
People are always on their phones, and that's why they didn't go to the cinema. It's like, shut the fuck up.
To be fair, he has a point, but he doesn't understand how. I don't know.
Maybe do better marketing and maybe release the film in more cinemas.
Maybe make a better film.
Maybe
that film is not good.
No, we can tell. Make a good film.
We can tell that film isn't good.
Apparently, The Last Duel wasn't even that good.
Oh no, yeah, definitely not. No way. It's historical drama by Ridley Scott.
Who gives a shit?
When have they ever been good? Like
Gladiator isn't even that good. Like
Gladiator's alright, but it's alright. Like it's like a proper lads film.
It's
like
proper.
Yeah.
It is a proper dad film.
Yeah, it's a dad film.
It's also
like,
nearly 3 hours long.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Last Duel is like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, like that's just
get fucked.
There's not a market there, man.
I'm not like this. Isn't a dig at people. But like, people aren't going to go to the cinema to see a 2.5 hour long film if it doesn't have superheroes in it.
That's true. Well, at least you can't expect, people to go in droves.
Or if it doesn't have Timothy Chalamet in it and it isn't,
yeah, blockbuster,
a major blockbuster. Like, this film is like, this is a film that you need. Like, The Last Duel is not a film that you need to go to the cinema to see.
No, not at all. What's it even about?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't even know.
I have no idea.
I can just tell it's not good though.
I know that there's
Wait, that was shot here. That was the one that Matt Damon was here to shoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wait, actually, we should all go see The Last Duel.
Yeah,
support the Irish industry.
Take it back. Apparently, there's a really explicit like rape scene in it.
I read that. Yeah.
That rubbed people the completely wrong way. Like it didn't. It was just like too much. I was like, Ridley Scott, you mad bastard! You need to like read the room, bro.
Read the room, man.
People don't want rape scenes in films anymore. This isn't the 80s and 90s anymore.
Yeah. That's just like, it's clearly, I don't even know what it's about, but it just doesn't look good. Like,
it just doesn't look good. Matt Damon's hair alone makes me not want to see that film.
He has like long hair, doesn't he?
I don't want to see that. I don't want to look at that for 2.5 hours.
Matt Damon, like he's the guy. I can't see him in those roles. Like,
no,
I can't. I don't get why he keeps getting cast in those films. Because he's, to me, I think to most people, he's the guy from Good Will Hunting and Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
he's just a guy from Boston. But he's like in one film he's in China. Next one he's in medieval fucking Europe or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah, The Great Wall. Jesus, I forgot
about
The
Great
that
Wall.
film.
That's what I thought. The Great Wall was The Last Duel. I thought they were the same film, but they're not. The Great Wall, yeah. Like, what's that about?
Is Matt Damon a good actor?
Yeah.
Outside of, I think he's good in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's also good in Talented Mr. Ripley. But besides those two,
Jason Bourne's very good. I think he does very well. In
but he's doing a lot of walk with me. Like, I'm on the phone and
you're
threatening you on the phone. I could see you already.
But you can feel it. He's like, this guy's serious.
Yeah.
Serious customer. He knows what he's doing.
He's a serious operator.
He's a serious operator. Yeah. I think he's very good in them. I think he's a good actor.
I just had that thought there when it's just like, Last Duel. I haven't seen it, but like, it's a historical drama, and I feel like those type of films like rely on really good acting. It's the same thing with them.
Well, what are good historical dramas?
Because I was just gonna say, that film, The King, the Timothy Chalamet one.
Yeah.
Did anyone see that film?
My mom saw it.
There we go.
I think all of them might have seen it.
But like, again, that film didn't do major gangbusters.
That's an interesting story, though.
So why the fuck does Ridley Scott think that his historical drama is going to do well?
Yeah,
that film did have Timothy Chalamet in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was a cool story. But yeah, there aren't really. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Plus, they all kind of look. Why do they all look the same?
Yeah.
Why do they all like kind of like
grey? See, that's another thing. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Like, don't blame. Hot take. Don't blame the consumer for like when your film fails and be like, it's your fault that this thing didn't do well, instead of maybe it's just shit. Maybe it wasn't good in the first place.
Maybe it wasn't good. Just there at the meeting after
it's like, really, did you ever think that maybe this wasn't a good film? Let's just saying that to him. Let's be like, maybe you just didn't make a good film. Like, you've done it before, bro.
There's no argument. Yeah. You have a history here.
You have a history. Your recent films haven't been doing good.
Your recent films are shy, man.
Like, I feel like House of Gucci might turn out to be shit.
No, there's no way it's very good. Like, it'd be good in a trashy way, maybe.
Sleaze,
yeah. It'd be controversial. The Gucci's apparently aren't a fan of it. Or it's like an unlicensed biography. Like if they've any sense,
Become rogue.
yeah, if they've any sense, they'll have like leaned into that, and really dug deep for the dirt, you know.
Yeah. It's just defamation at that
yeah,
point.
it's great. Just making things up about them. Yeah.
They actually staged the moon landing.
Yeah, they're on Epstein. They're all on Epstein Island at the end. Just land on Epstein Island.
Oh my! Imagine if that's how the film ends. Like it's like the plane lands down or whatever, and you think they're at some nice tropical island.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein's
There's a reconstruction of him like Paul Walker and Fast and Furious.
Like fucking Dr. Loomis and fucking Halloween Kills. It's like, hello, Mr. Gucci, whatever the fuck his name is.
Hello, Mr. Gucci.
And then it just ends.
Yeah. Everyone's just like,
why?
For Gucci too.
Yeah.
Setup. It's like a post-credit scene. Setting up the universe.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what the crowd wants.
That's what the crowd wants. People want more Epstein films.
The extended universe. Yeah, come on.
Oh god. Oh Jesus. We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it there tonight.
Recommended film for next week is Being John Malkovich, 1999, directed by Spike Jonze. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's around there somewhere.
Find it.
Charlie Kaufman. It's
on
gonna
YouTube.
It's there. It's probably on YouTube. Yeah.
Find it somewhere. Yeah, we'll see you all next week.
Sayonara, guys. Bye.